Hello, welcome to another video. I was actually going to do a whole podcast, and I actually did do a whole podcast on like my tell-all. I didn't like it. And then I had all these comments from this one person. It wasn't like a bunch of people, it was just one person, but it got me thinking about more of what I wanted to talk about and more of what I wanted to say. So I've ditched the episode of the podcast. I still want to start my own podcast, something different, a new project for me to work on and all of that. And I still have the idea. It's going to be called Tools Podcast. I have like the picture that I took. I haven't really finished the design of it. But anyways, I'm rambling on about that. I want to make it exactly what I want, but I also wanted to share this right now and just get it out there so I can be done with it and move on. So the podcast is going to be about other things. And today we're going to talk about everything that I need to get off my chest so that we can move the fuck on. So first I'm going to start with what this girl said. There was like a few things. I think the first thing that's like the most, like we can just move on past this. So I got these comments from this girl. They were so random. It started off with her being like upset about me having a dog while being emotional, I guess, and saying that like that I shouldn't have gotten a puppy. I don't know. And then it turned into stuff about like a company I used to work for, and also about me not being like me queer baiting, like me not being queer. So let's address the first one that's like the most obvious. I am married. I've been married for 2.5 years, and we've been together almost 4 years. I'm married to a woman. I'm queer. I can't queer bait because I am queer. Like, me talking about my sexuality is not queer baiting because I am queer. I think that was the most, like the easiest one to talk about, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah, I really don't know where this came from. I don't know if this is because she knows that, or like she's like done some digging on my past relationships, but just because you've dated men before doesn't mean you're not queer. And even if you are dating a man, doesn't mean that you aren't queer. You're a cis woman and you're dating a man, that still doesn't mean you're not queer. Like, you might be bisexual, you might be pansexual. And I do use those words kind of interchangeably. I use lesbian and I use pansexual because I think sexuality is on a spectrum and I fall between those two. That still makes me queer, either way, especially because I'm literally married to a woman. So, okay, so that was the easiest thing to kind of get out of the way. The next thing was me being emotional during the last like few months and me sharing that online. I wanted to talk about this because I thought we were at a point in time on the internet where, Raisin, can you come here? I thought we were at a point in time on the internet where we understand that we see very, very little of someone's actual life, and what they choose to share online is probably like an amplified version of their emotions. So whether it's like a really high and they're doing really amazing, they're gonna share those moments, or whether it's a really, really low and they wanna share those emotions and that experience. Part of the reason why I share my experiences, whether it's like those really big highs or really low lows, is because I want you to feel like you're not alone. Like, even somebody who has done like this doesn't mean that they don't experience this, or like back and forth. So for me, sharing my emotions the last few months, that doesn't mean I'm not still taking care of myself, still taking care of my animals, still taking care of my relationships and friendships in my life. It means I'm sharing with you an intimate moment because I want you to know you're not alone and that I experience those things. I'm human. Another thing to mention is I don't share everything. I have not shared my diagnosis and the things that I do to take care of myself because it's not relevant to my channel, and I don't want that to be a topic of discussion on my channel because it is a personal experience and it's my personal life. It's the things that I do choose to keep private most of the time. Just to get this out there so that y'all understand the last few months. I have depression, I've been diagnosed, and I have adjustment disorder, which is situational depression. So I don't handle change very well, and the last few months was a lot of change back to back. And because of that, I was going through one of those episodes. Does that mean I don't, behind the scenes, take care of it and talk to people that are professionals? I don't talk to the internet about it because most of you are probably not professionals in the industry, in the space, and I don't want feedback on it. I don't want help on it from people that don't know my past, don't know my medical history, don't know what I've already been going through. Like, that's why I keep that private. It's for professionals that know my history, and that's where I keep it. So like I said, I don't handle change very well. That's just a problem within my brain. And there was a lot of change that happened back to back. And when I'm stepped out of that, now that I'm like stepped out of that space and I'm feeling a lot better, I can see and recognize that a lot of what I was experiencing was just change. Like nothing, I mean, there was something that really affected me, which we'll get into, that I think was like the cherry on top of everything. But for the most part, it was just a lot of change at once that really overwhelmed me. And when I look back at it, I'm like, it really wasn't that bad. And if it was somebody else who doesn't have the mental challenges that I struggle with, they would probably be like, oh, this isn't really that bad. So I wanted to talk about some of those things so we can get it out there and move the fuck on. The first thing was, obviously we bought a house and moved. Huge change, huge stress. And we also completely renovated the whole place. It was stressful. I'm sure you've watched HGTV where they go, you know, here's the budget, here's what we're gonna do, and then they get the call over and over and over again. They're like, actually, this went wrong, and we gotta spend another blah, 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 blah. That was happening. That was stressful, okay? That was a lot. Next thing was I lost my channel, which was a huge part of my job. I lost my YouTube channel that was driving a lot of traffic to my spicy page on OnlyFans. And so that was stressful. It really was. It was like, whoa, big change, gotta pivot. It was stressful. It was emotional. It was something that I really cared about. I love YouTube so much. And so that was really big. Next thing was, which we will get into, was learning that something I cared about so much was not what it seemed, and that I would no longer be involved with said thing that I spent so much time and care on and really thought was gonna be something great. It turned out to be really, really bad. We'll get into it. Like I said, I will explain everything. But that was super emotional too. Now, I think one thing that like a couple friends have brought up to me, they're like, is it money? Is it money? And I just wanna like clear everyone's mind. I don't want to do this to like be like, here's what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. It's more to like keep calm, y'all, because I feel like everyone's like, you're so stressed, you're so worked up. And I really care, and I'm appreciative of the people that have said, you know, take care of yourself and all those really kind words. But sometimes it's a lot when I'm like already going through a lot, and then someone is like creating another narrative of what's actually going on in my life. Okay, so here is my OnlyFans. Here's my OnlyFans. Do you see how many fans I have? That's how many fans I have right now. And then I'm gonna click that, and you are going to see, I'm gonna show you that. Tell me if you can see that. Do you see what percent I'm at? Okay, so I just clicked on that. I'm gonna click on it again so you can see that this is my actual, right? It's like live in the moment. That is, I'm at the 0.43%. Everything is fine financially. I feel like that was like a big question. Everything's fine financially. So that wasn't the like stressor. Like this is what I'm saying, like money was fine. Everyone's alive, no one died. But I have a hard time with change. And like I said, when I put all my time and effort and love into something and I lose it, like the channel and the project that I was just mentioning and I will get into, losing those two things back to back was very emotional for me. Now, next part of this, someone said, which I literally love and appreciate you, and please don't take this the wrong way, that you could see it in my eyes that I was emotional. And yes, I was, like for a really long time. But the actual video, I'm pretty sure what you saw in my eye was like a huge scratch in this eye. So my eye was completely red, like it was just busted. I think the puppy, when he wakes up in the morning, he kind of like wakes me up, and I think he scratched my eye. Okay, so those were kind of those things that I wanted to touch on. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. As far as me being able to take care of a puppy, I am fine. I am taking care of myself. I also hope you realize I work like 2 days a week. Like the rest of the time I'm taking care of myself. I'm relaxing, I am chilling, I'm hanging out with the puppy. And when I work, I put him, you know, in a separate room where I can actually see him. Like, I don't know if you saw, but in my office, I have like a little gate. I put him in the living room and I'm in the room so I can still see him. He's still playing. Everything is fine. I have a wife who also, when she's here, she takes care of him while I'm working, and then we swap back and forth. So this comment about neglecting the puppy, I was just so confused because normally people have a regular 9-to-5 job and they leave to go to work, and what, are they not supposed to have puppies? Are they not supposed to have kids because they're going to be neglecting them? I'm confused. Like, normally people don't spend every waking hour with their puppy. My puppy is literally right next to me right now as I'm filming this. And I work from home and I stay home all day, every single day. And actually this weekend, I know I'm going far into this because I felt so frustrated. Yeah. This weekend, let's start off the day with, okay, Friday, 9:15 p.m. Cuddle on the couch with Raisin. Next day, 2:29 p.m. Me and him at the park in his carrying case. He didn't leave my side at all that day. Let's go to 3 o'clock. Saturday, 3 o'clock, in the car together. Okay, next thing, this is the best part. This is the best part. I went out that night. Right? You saw this on my Instagram. I went out that night to a friend's dinner party. Guess who came with me? Guess who came with me? Saturday, 8:51 p.m. Saturday, 8:51 p.m. at the dinner table with me. So if you're gonna say I'm neglecting him, what do you mean? He is with me at all times. Like literally, all day, every day, wherever I go, he goes with me, and wherever he goes, I go with him. To say that I'm not capable of taking care of my pets, which I've also had a guinea pig for a year almost now, and he's doing absolutely amazing, is insane. I have the financial means, I have a house with a backyard. I am doing fine. Just because I have a hard day, just like anybody else, or a hard few months, which is totally normal and totally human, doesn't mean I can't take care of myself or my animals. So that just hurt me because I feel like Daisy and I put a lot into taking care of our pets. We give them like the best food, the best medical care, the best literally everything. And you can ask anyone in our personal lives, we are over the fucking top with how we take care of our animals. And I think that was a major trigger for me to like have this, to make this video, because I didn't want a pet for a very long time because I would feel way too bad if I wasn't able to take care of said pet. Like for the longest time, I told Daisy, no, we can't get an animal until this, until this, until this. And once we got to that point, then we got the animal. For someone to say that I wasn't taking care of my pets or neglecting them is insane. You saw 2 videos or 3 videos, maybe 30 minutes each, which are clips from my life, clips of me being like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. This is crazy. He is so much. He's so jumpy. He's a puppy. Of course, it's so much. When people become parents and they have actual physical kids, I'm sure they're just as overwhelmed. I'm sure they're just as stressed, if not 1,000 times more. But just because they maybe don't share those emotions online, you're not criticizing them as parents. I digress. Now let's get into the stuff that you're probably here for and the real juicy fucking topic, which is the company that I used to work for that I put my all into and I feel like I was burned. So this was another conversation where this person said, you love this company, you talk about it, it's all over the internet, and you're scamming people. Where's the scam? I got nothing from it. I got nothing. Nothing. I have nothing. I literally deleted my account. I got nothing. I got scammed. I got fucking ripped off. Imagine how I feel after pouring my heart and soul into something and losing it. Now, everything I just said about this said company and will say forward is alleged. Because if you Google it, most companies have you sign an NDA when you become an employee. So keep that as I continue on with this conversation. I'm no longer endorsing any companies right now, and any company that I had endorsed in the past, I don't endorse this said company that we're speaking about. A lot happened the last few years, and for a long time, I stood by them because I really wanted to believe the best. I wanted to believe that what this person, the founder and owner of this company, was saying to me was true. So that's the message that I would share, was the good stuff that this person was telling me. That's what I would share. That's all I knew, was what this person was telling me. It wasn't my company, so I couldn't make any changes. All I could do was my best and express our thoughts as creators to this person, and whether they took it or not is completely not up to me. I was with this company for almost a year and a half, officially almost a year, but I was making videos with them for a year and a half. So I say a year and a half. With that, I was given a portion of this company, very small, just like, you know, a normal like startup company would give a new employee, right? And I was told that I would be doing obviously community stuff for the community, and that I would still be able to have my businesses on the side, obviously, because that is what builds my own community, for me to then express this company to my community, right? But during this time, there was a lot of like, oh, you're spending a lot of time doing that. Like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. And so I gave and poured more and more and more of myself into this company until I was really neglecting, a funny word to use, neglecting a lot of my own personal businesses and things, because I cared so much about pleasing and creating this company. Well, at least I felt like I was creating with them. So I was working myself to the grave. Like I had to be on my phone at all times. I had to be on the Slack at all times. I had to be available at all times. We would talk till late into the night, and then early in the morning. And you can ask any employee there, like, that was the culture that he wanted, that the owner wanted. Then it got into, you know, people being let go and things going wrong and creators not agreeing with what was happening, and it just kept going, kept spiraling. And I took a step back and I looked at everything, and I felt really uneasy about what was going on and things behind the scenes and things that were said, scam wise, that I saw from the inside, and I felt extremely uncomfortable. I talked about it with a friend, my friend Erin, you guys know her, and I told her this like in the spring. I said, I don't know, I feel really uncomfortable with what's going on. I don't really know how to go about it, because I do believe in this. And I poured so much into it, and I want to believe that like there's a reason, like all of this there's a reason. And so I talked to her about it, and more and more kept happening. And then I was asked to talk to a person who had invested in this company, and that was always sort of a thing, is we were pleasing these investors, right? That was like, we had to please the investors. And so the owner asked me to please this investor. That sounds weird, but like it kind of got weird. Please this investor, have a conversation with them. Okay. So I was asked to have a conversation with this investor, and I didn't know what it was about. So he calls me and he asked me to invite girls from the platform on a trip for him and his friends to, I think it was like Dubai or something, or Ibiza. Ibiza, is that in Dubai? Anyway, to do that. And he wanted cheap, down girls that were down to drink and do other things. I was shocked, and obviously was told to please investors. So I said, let me look into this and I'll call you back. And I called the founder, said, I'm not doing that. He did say, okay, whatever. But after that day, when I called this investor back and I said, oh, I talked to legal and like, we're not gonna be able to do that this time, but I'll figure out, you know, we can work on a different event. As soon as I called this person back and said that, everything changed. I was slowly cut out of the picture, and that's what happened. Ever since that, I was dropped, basically. They took my job away, they took my equity away, everything. And to get it back, to get my equity back, I would have had to sign a document saying I would never sue, and like an even more in-depth NDA, and that I would only get half of that equity back anyway. And that I would have to be on the board and still push the company and like make videos about it. I'm like, I'm not gonna do work to get something back that I was already deserved. So that's actually everything that happened. And this is all alleged, this is all a story, this was all me fabricating something, and that's all it was. I didn't say any of this. That's what happened. Obviously, I took it very personal because I had spent so much time on this and I cared so much. I cared so deeply about it. And my intentions were always to find a place where I felt like creators could be heard and could have influence in the industry. And so that was always what I wanted to do. This was really hard for me to go through, and I'm finally at a place where I can talk about it. It's actually been over a month, I'm pretty sure, a month and a half, 2 months, since all of this. And so I am feeling better about just moving forward and like doing my own thing, and not like, honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because like I said, in the spring, I was feeling really uncomfortable with everything that was going on in the background. And then I was overworked, I was tired, and now I wake up and I feel happy. I feel like I can spend time like doing the things that I love to do. I feel like just a brand new start. So it was a blessing in disguise, but it was really unfortunate, and I feel really awful sending people to a place that isn't good, and I didn't know that. And if I knew that, obviously I would never have done that. I always want to see the best in people, and like I was really hopeful that it was going to be something really amazing, and I spent so much time trying to make it something amazing, but the truth hit hard, and that was what I was going through the last few months. And I probably said too much. I probably have said way too much, but I took down all of my videos that were about this platform, and except for vlogs that I really liked. Like I really loved going to Vegas and like things like that. So the vlogs I've kept because it's my life, and it was a good part of my life, and I loved those vlogs. But when it comes to like sharing tips and tricks on this platform, I've taken all those down. Obviously they have the channel that I built for them, so they have those videos. I don't know why they would keep them up of me. Like, it's so freaking weird. But yeah, other than that, I'm not affiliated anymore. I don't endorse them. I don't stand by them. I don't agree with what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I don't have like an email with them anymore. I don't have an account with them anymore. So I don't know what's going on over there, and I don't want to know, to be honest. So I hope that was helpful to explain like all the emotional turmoil and craziness that was happening the last few months. And I hope you have no more questions. When it comes to like scammy stuff, everything you think is true, allegedly. I just don't want to talk about this anymore. And like I said, I shouldn't even be saying any of this, to be honest. So like any questions, like I can't answer them. Please just know I don't agree with anything that they're doing, And so that should tell you enough. I don't know anything else. As far as scammy stuff, whatever you might think is going on, it's probably true, allegedly. I don't know. I don't know anything in specific, even from working there. I just like had gut feelings. Like I think I wasn't told everything as well, allegedly. Okay, everything I just said was alleged. Everything I just said is all I'm gonna say. I hope you understand and I hope you respect that, like, I can't answer any more questions. Okay, now with that all being said, I wanna move the fuck on. I want to get on with my life. I want to be happy. I have been happy the last like month and I want to just move on. Like, please, 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 please. I wanna be happy. I wanna enjoy my life. I wanna go back to normal vlogs, normal stuff, and that's it. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I will always do my best to share with you whatever I can and help you on this journey through this process, because life is tough sometimes, life is hard, but we get through it, and that's that. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel, and sending you all lots of love.